First impressions for the Dawn of the Infinite and the Time Rifts. How are they, Matt? I haven't played them.
So, let's start with the Dawn of Infinite.
I've been a busy boy this week.
Dawn of Infinite is unfortunately slightly mixed.
Aww.
But
on our Discord, all I saw was you boys just being like, this goes hard.
it's very fun. It's very good.
Okay, good.
It's very fun. It's very good. It has excellent moments and excellent fights. That is what I took away from it.
Okay.
But
Why am I worried?
But if I'm going for the overall, like, if I'm going to rate this dungeon completely objectively, there's a lot of really high points and a lot of points that you're like, what's this? Basically, there's a lot of trash that doesn't seem to do a whole pile. And this is obviously work in progress. It could be some stuff.
Right.
There's a couple bosses that is like, that's interesting. That's kind of a little bit mixed there, unfortunately. But like the highs of this, where you do a cool fight and it's cool, you see a cool moment and it's cool, you go through a portal and you're flying somewhere, it's really damn good. It's a great experience. I guess that's the way I put it. It's a great experience, but it's a good dungeon, great experience. Because it's not bad, it's not mid, it's actually pretty good. Just there's a couple bits where I'm like, that was a bit boring. That was a bit kind of pointless. What's this about? But overall, it's very, very good. And some of the stuff in it is fantastic. Brilliant ideas. I'm slightly biased because I'm a bullet hell fan, and there are 2 bullet hells in it.
Oh, good. I always love those in a boss fight. Nice.
Only one of them's in a boss fight.
Oh.
Yep.
Cool.
It's very good. It's very good. Nicholas was just said, yeah, we're using Notion. Notion.so. It's very good. Sweetfire says, the problem with Matt is that he can't enjoy anything without finding something to hit.
He's a bastard.
Been telling me that? This is my curse. Don't you talk about it?
He is carrying a heavy burden. Yeah. Very heavy burden.
Unironically, this is what's it called? I think it's a occupational disease is a term. I think in the Western world, occupational disease usually refers to literal things such as you get something from like an injury from work. But you
just got brain damage from here.
I can't remember what it actually is in Japanese, but the Japanese version has connotations of like behaviors and habits that you pick up, which is like a dentist, as an example, looks at people's smiles and examines their teeth. Even in casual settings, it's just like a thing you pick up.
Hell. Yeah,
so I feel like that's one of the things of what thinking about stuff all day will do to you. It's the same with what I call it. It's the same with just having that like kind of critical angle and stuff. You're like, I like this, but there's a part of my brain going, well, this is kind of shit, this kind of shit, this kind of shit.
It's like if you're a structural engineer. Just whenever you walk into a building, I'm like, this is all bad building. 3 out of 10. I don't enjoy it.
Yeah, it's very much that. Some of it is also my personality. I've been doing this long before I was. I was very much a critical person.
He was born in the dark.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's hard to not let that detract from enjoyment because I really enjoyed that. I really liked the dungeon overall. It's very fun. Some of them was like, I don't want to talk about specifics, so I'll spoil them, but it's really like maybe not the overall narrative impetus is in like a big cutscene moment or whatever else, because most of the stuff's not on PTR. Oh, the gauntlet.
This gauntlet's thick.
I'll show it for them.
Oh my god, people are going to lose their balls over this.
Yeah, does this work?
Remember the stealth segment in Upper Mechagon?
Yeah.
See, I loved it. I thought it was neat.
Yeah, so this person...
Oh, do you get sent to the start?
You get
if
sent
you get hit?
You get sent at the very start if you get hit.
Oh my god, this is... See, here's the crazy thing, right? Do you know what this is, Matt?
What?
This is a video game.
It is. That's why I love...
You know, like...
very last one.
You know, there's different ways you play games. And sometimes you just want to sit down and play some spreadsheets in space. Right? You know, your EVE style. I'm just like, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to plan my corporate acquisitions in EVE Online. Or, you know, Crusader Kings. And then there's the like, hey, do you like bullet hells? Do you like playing Super Hexagon? Are you a crazy person? And like, yeah, here we go. So yeah, I think that's dope.
It's really fun. The way it works is basically if you like it. Yeah.
Into it at the
Yeah,
end.
it targets you if you're like if you go first. So there's a way to do this as a group where you can kind of like someone can bait and then everyone else can follow behind. But it is really fun to do. You go super fast. You hit it like it took me a while because it's really the placement's really aggressive of how they will like if you're behind a dude or if you go a little bit ahead of one of the dragonkin and he does a big cone, it will just be this cone. You have to swerve. You cannot just go straight through it because it's really big. You have to like properly be patient and move correctly. It's really fun. Actually, that was a fantastic moment, but there's going to be awful problems with it. With like as Esteban says, imagine Pug disbanded because people can handle this. Yeah, this will be the Warlock dungeon. This will be the I can't do this. Somebody please, or the. I was playing Evoker during that, and I didn't rescue anyone into the boss.
Yo,
I should have done that. Yeah, that's right. You just need one person to do it on PTR. There's a shortcut. Yeah, they can activate the shortcut on the other side.
That's a reasonable way to do it. You can.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that out of the 5 of you, there is one chosen one.
Yeah. The changing facing direction with the cast complete is just legit bad design. I think that might be a visual bug because I didn't, or a bug from whenever this was done. I didn't see that happen at all. I saw some like pretty interesting like movements, but most of it actually felt pretty fair to me. It was literally just actually kind of hard, which I really liked. Okay, it's hard if you go fast. If you go slow, it's easy. And I think that's maybe the point, but it's really good.
Oh, we got an achievement here called Crunch Time.
Yep.
Sure, someone had fun writing that achievement.
I bet they wrote it through tears. Yeah.
But this is for the hard modes. I have to assume these hard modes will drop better gear.
I imagine so. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're probably going to see the other 4 hard modes. So yeah, it's just keeping that tradition going. And I think that's really good. If this on its hard mode can be maybe like a heroic raid, but a dungeon, then I think that'll be pretty damn cool.
Can you still have fast? I don't know.
That's really nice. The next thing to talk about then, Matt, is the time rifts.
Yeah, these are very cool.
Oh,
in a way that
there's no but.
There is a but.
There we go.
Which is, as they stand, they are pretty busted on PTR, and that you'd like the bar to fill is like this, and I went as fast as I could and did everything, like for the 8 minutes it's up, and got like that.
How many players were there?
Me and one other dude.
Oh well.
I don't know if it's shared. I don't know if it's shared. I don't know if it's shared because it is just a bar and it's about you collecting essence.
Oh, okay.
It might be shared, in which case it'll be completely different. But the way it basically works is there's some shit to do. I'll scroll past this real quick to show. Is there any of the gameplay on this? Have you? No, he hasn't. Okay, so the way it works is it's this fixed area in the Tyrhold Reservoir, and every time it keeps just refreshes different one. There's downtime and then it goes again. It kind of reminds me of the Helltides in D4 at the minute, where it's just here's a area, do stuff in it really fast, and it feels similar to the Community Feast in the sense that you get a task, and you do that, but it's not as simple. It's because it's up for 8 minutes, and you spend 1 minute killing all the mobs in this area. Kill as many as you can, you get stuff per mob. Or Sword Army goes, come back and do this puzzle. And it'll be kind of Zereth Mortisy in that, or like the Najatari, or was this any much stuff at Legion? But basically like the random stuff. There's one where there's a puzzle, which is like you've got a timer ticking down, and you have to identify what Sword Army says. So it's like, you know, the grids of 3D models, and it's just like, get all the Murlocs. And I was like, I got 4, where's the 5th? And the 5th was disguised and like wearing something different. So I had to like look for the silhouette and then find it. And it was actually it was really simple, it was very fun. And there's another one which is, you know, like the catch the balls in the bucket thing, where there's an hourglass and there's like falling bits of sand on 2 lanes, and you press a button to switch which lane the hourglass is on. And it's really simple, but it is like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute long, and you just go, I'm just going to play this minigame. And then she's going to say, right, go kill stuff. Right, come back and do a puzzle. Right, come back and do this. And one of the things that was fun was, you know, the anima powers, they're making a comeback, not in a crazy way, but more in the, what's it called, the assembly, the Azure Place Assembly. they're kind of like that, where one person, or maybe multiple, because I haven't done it with lots of people, there is a task to set up a thing, and everyone can click that thing and get a buff from it, like pick a buff in the anima power style. So you kind of go, you hear someone set it up, you go back and pick up this buff and then go kill stuff faster. And it's just like 8 minutes, just this, okay, go. Do stuff as fast as you can. And then you get a box at the end, you're like, that was cool. Like, it was limited in time. It was limited in scope. I was changing what I was doing constantly. There was more variety than there is with a community feast, outside of, like, you don't go and buy stuff from, like, vendors and you don't fish. But there's a little bit of variety. So it feels like a new version of that. And then all of the vendors are here. And you get a... Okay, we probably were getting too many flakes on PTR, because I basically was able to buy most things from vendors after doing it once.
Whoa.
So that's clearly not going to make it. But it was actually like, I fully on. I was like, this is good. How will it feel when the novelty wears off? You can honestly ask that about anything in World of Warcraft. And that's why there's rewards for you to grind. Like, the point literally is that it's fun. It's kind of fun. It's not amazing. It's just shit to do. That's okay. If there's a little bit of novelty in swapping between tasks, it's not going to be highly fun. But that's why you go and see all these vendors, which have all of the stuff on them.
It's one of those things where it's driven a bit by like what you also want to do. Like even those whispering tree things in D4.
Yep.
It's like whispering trees, just go do some bounties, basically. It's not the most fun thing. It's like just, yeah, go there, do an event, kill 100 skeletons. But it actually ends up as a loop.
Yes.
Working fairly well.
Exactly that, where if you're the kind of player who's sat doing like hee-haw in this game, you're like idling in Valdrakken or something, especially because it's nearby, which is a good choice. It's a good choice for it to be there anyway. But you're kind of idling nearby. You're like, okay, well, I'm not really doing much. You can just sit there, set a timer for, I think it was on a 15 or 20 minute cycle. I can't remember which. And you just come back every couple minutes, do this for 8 minutes. And you're like, you know what? It's all right. You get the grind stuff out. You know, you don't want to do a world quest, go back here, sort this out. It fits into that overall. You're flying around the world loop. It's not going to fit with you're doing M plus kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's very much you do this in between other things. And it's like Bellshaw says, anything that isn't mindless rare whack-a-mole is a good thing. This is already more enjoyable than, well, I see myself doing this more than I do Zarlek Cavern content. Let's put it that way. Because it's in a fixed location, it's on a timer that I can see, and I can just go back and do it. And it's a very obvious, clean grind.
Yeah, with Zarlek, I'm wondering, you know, have people ended up Zarleking less than they would have done, like, say, the Black Dragon?
I think so.
Loops.
I
And
definitely
is there
think
anything
so.
we can learn about that? Is there, you know, are there too many pattern breaks in the gameplay loop? In the way that, you know, people would just farm fucking gulp frogs for 3 hours. I did that. I farmed gulp frogs for like 3 hours. If you weren't there, it's just that. There was a small bit of coast in the Timeless Isle. It was full of frogs, and you killed them.
I did that for far too
I don't
long
want to be
myself.
all like, you know, back in my day, we just killed frogs by the sea, and we were happy. And you young people have got your rares and your treasures, and we had to make do with frogs. I'm not trying to take the piss too much, but I think it is, you know, actually getting at with the gulp frogs, they had that whole buff where it's just like in Vault Infusion. If you got 10 stacks of the buff, you'd instantly die. So you did have to manage your buff with the gulp frogs, but you would be, you know, gaining power. You would be using the little buff statues that were there in the Timeless Isle, which would give you a long buff for your character. It would just be like having heroism for an hour. It was pretty cool. So that allowed people to get into, I suppose, what is in the literature called a flow state.
Yeah.
And I think one of the issues that Blizzard maybe has, and perhaps it's why Zarlek didn't work as well as Forbidden Reach. My experience of the Forbidden Reach was flow. As in, there's always a mob up, there's always a flock of like 30 players zipping about the place, so you stay with the flock, and it's just like, land, kill, reward. Fly, land, kill, reward. As you are, you know, just fucking lying back in your sofa, brushing off the Dorito chips like your man in the South Park episode, right? It was that. But then in the Zarlek Cavern, it's very, I've done my world quests.
It's pretty start-stop.
Oh! I've done the rare. Oh shit, another rare. You know, and you start, stop, so there's no flow. Whereas that time when somebody has stopped in Zaralek and is just flying around in circles or doing something. Back in the day, I was still killing frogs. Is that the lesson? And is that maybe why you go into this? And it's just, I kill, I go through portal, I kill.
Yep.
I have a bit of novelty. I go back, I get reward in the same way that with the Whispering Tree in D4, which literally, guys, it's like bounties. Basically, there's little objectives are kind of sprinkled throughout the world. You need to get 10 points in total. Objectives give you between 1 and 5 points. You just do them, go back to the tree. And the way the tree works is the tree gives you a choice of one of 3 different like caches of rewards. And those will be, you know, a random cache, a cache of boots, a cache of rings, or you could get a greater cache, which maybe, you know, have some better quality stuff in it. And it's just this loop of like, do shit, go back to tree, do shit, go back to tree. You're gaining XP, you're getting rewards, you just keep on going, you get in that flow state. Whereas, yeah, Zaralek is stop-start. Maybe there's a lesson, I don't know.
The lesson
Whereas
is,
Obsidian thingy, people just would be like, yeah, I'm just going to do Obsidian today. And away they went.
I mean, that's what I did.
Yeah.
In like 2 sittings or 2 or 3 sittings, I think, to max out the Obsidian Citadel when I wanted that ring. And I was like, I don't even know why. It was crack. And the same way D4 had me for a while when I started like playing the end game. I was like, oh, this is spooky. I need to stop this because if I don't, I will have a problem. And it is just that one more go. I'm not going to stop because my brain is full of juice. And your juicy brain just gets to keep going. Whereas, like, the time rift may not be quite like that because it's like on a start-stop kind of timer. It's not a permanent grind. And probably for a reasonable reason. Although, if it did just constantly loop, I think people would have a way better time. Actually, yeah. Yeah, this time rift needs to be not on a timer. It needs to just go time after time after time. That's my opinion now. I don't care. People might be able to finish things a bit faster.
Oh no!
That's why they need to add a mount for 100,000 paracausal flicks.
100,000.
No, add a mount for 100,000 paracausal flicks, and add a item that's better than any other item in the game for 200,000, and then you're sorted. And is that bad? Is that horrible? Yes. Would people grind it out and have loads of playtime? Yes, definitely. But I think that's the key, is getting people into that state is the important part. And the timer stopping, kind of grim, but ultimately I think as far as content goes, a lot of lessons to learn, but the time rift is pretty fun for me dabbling in them and kind of going every now and again. And the boss is good. I will say the boss at the end was good. The one I did was the Azeroth, all capitals, period, dots between. This was the King Mechagon 1 timeline. And you go in and fight King Mechagon, and he's got like a set of mechanics that are constantly going, and they're pretty fun to deal with. I had to solo him because no one else was there to finish it, and thankfully I had the gear on my druid. I was able to do that as Feral because I could like heal his like damage and stuff through. But it was like I just had to fight this dude for like 10 minutes doing mechanics every time. Obviously it'd be Zerd, but it's the same kind. You know the way like certain rares now will just kill you if you don't pay attention. It's very much that design. I'm like, this is fun. This is fun. And as long as the rewards are there, people will do it. That's for sure. And the rewards here are plentiful.
Yes, there is a lot of stuff. Like every single one of the 7 timelines has its own vendor.
Yeah, some of them have nothing on them yet, or like only one thing, but generally, yeah, it's crazy. Crazy as more.
Yep, so you've got full ensembles. Oh, right, these are like all data mined out here now. Cool, we can actually take a look at them.
Ensembles, yeah.
Oh, yo!
Yeah, it's the yes, that set. What's that set?
I forgot. It's very nice.
Mists tier? No.
Yeah, looks Legionish, but I forget.
I might be on crack.
Okay, so we have these ensembles for 2,700. Some better than others, suffice to say.
Yes.
For the mounts, which are 7,000 each, we have got. Once our internet decides to load,
I'm still waiting.
Which we're working on.
Still waiting on the call back from BT.
Man, so Sulphur Hound, we got a blue version of the Juggernaut.
Oh, these are cool. I love the conceit behind these, where it's like, here's the perfected Juggernaut, which is what would happen if Siege of Orgrimmar, like Juggernaut, was perfect. You're like, sweet, Sulphur Hound, Legion-y stuff, Spellstorm Dragon, like the dragons from Legion, but actually fell. All this stuff, Very good. Very good.
I like the albatross. It's like big Skeksis, whatever it is. Funny looking beak, sort of thing going on. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of rewards. Seems like a pretty decent time. At the very least, a good addition to having a patch like this.
I think it's not for everyone, but certain people will get a lot of joy out of it and a lot of fun out of it, which is good.
Yeah, it's good shit.
So now, actually, hang on a second.
Oh,
What? Oh, Olderoth. Never mind.
yeah, it's the Titans reign
sorry,
supreme.
I was a wee bit off in the brow there.